Units of the Syrian Arab Army eliminate dozens of terrorists in different areas affiliated with the Islamic State. Jaafari stresses that combating terrorism should be done in accordance with UN Security Council Resolution 2170, as Syria has been fighting terrorism on behalf of the whole world. Iraqi forces eliminate dozens of terrorists affiliated with the Islamic State in several areas. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our news for today. An official source at the Foreign and Expatriates Ministry has said that the role of sabotage played by the Turkish government in Syria has become clear in hosting, training and arming terrorists and facilitating their passage into Syria and providing them with chemical materials, a case still under investigation by Turkish courts, as well as buying stolen oil from ISIS and stealing Syrian commodities with the aim of dealing a blow to infrastructure and the progress that Syria had realized in the field of development. The Syrian Arab Army carries out several operations during which ISIS terrorists are killed or injured in Deir ez-Zor, Aleppo, Homs and Daraa.
The Syrian Arab Army continues its clampdown on terrorists in several Syrian governorates. A Syrian Arab Army unit has destroyed a hideout used by the so-called Islamic State organization in Deir ez-Zor, killing and wounding its occupants and destroying their weapons and ammunition. Other Syrian Arab Army units targeted IS gatherings in Muhassan in the eastern countryside of the governorate, killing and injuring many of the terrorist organization's members and destroying their equipment. In Aleppo, a Syrian Arab Army unit intercepted a terrorist's attempt to attack a military checkpoint along al-Musa al-Amiriya axis, killing many of them and destroying their vehicles. In Homs suburb, a number of terrorists were killed and others were injured, including some of their leaders. 3 machine gun-provided vehicles were destroyed. Other armed men were eliminated or injured when the Syrian Arab Army thwarted their infiltration attempts and killed others in 9 sites. In Daraa, the Syrian Arab Army foiled an infiltration attempt and killed many gunmen and destroyed al-Nusra hideout in Semlin.
In Jobar neighborhood in Damascus, the Syrian Arab Army continues to advance, taking over new buildings and destroying terrorist hideouts in several areas. The ongoing operations resulted in killing several terrorists, including one of their leaders, and destroying a vehicle that contained weapons and ammunition. Syrian citizens defy mortar shells and carry on with their daily life, more determined to defeat terrorism.
Danger that overshadows Damascene's days is the mortars, handmade shells with low accuracy fired by armed groups into Damascus, targeting and often missing government buildings and ending up in the most unusual places like this cemetery in Jeramana near Damascus. Those walking in this Damascus street understand they are taking a great risk just by walking.
Ignorant thugs and individuals shoot arbitrarily.
Earlier this year, a mortar on a school in the historic Bashar district killed 4 children and an adult.
They are targeting children, they are targeting everyone, including school children, men of religion, women, elderly people who belong to different religions, denominations.
The mortars have caused significant material damage in many places, but little military gains for those firing it. Despite all, life goes on in Syria. Even in Damascus University, where a mortar attack last year killed over 15 students.
These mortar shells may have no impact on people. Everyone seems to be carrying on with their life. Anyway, life will go on. Mortar shells do not scare us. Life continues. We are much stronger, more determined to go on.
Military experts say that there is little the Syrian army can do to stop the mortars, as the concept is very basic. Mortar attacks are more frequent in areas adjacent to places where terrorist groups are active, especially in Qasa and Babtuma districts. A recent Syrian army gain in Mleha city spared Jeramana the daily deadly shower. It's a difficult choice that many are making in Syria nowadays, deciding to leave their houses, knowing that death might fall upon them from the sky at any minute. But this is only one of many other difficult choices that Syrians have to make every day. Everyone in this busy Damascus market have made their choices for today. Allah Ibrahim, Syrian TV, Damascus.
Welcome back. Syria's permanent representative to the UN, Bashar Jaafari, stressed that the Qatari, Saudi and Turkish intelligence services are directly responsible for funding the terrorist organizations in Syria and for coordinating with Jabhat al-Nusra in kidnapping soldiers serving in the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, UNDOF. Al-Jaafari made it clear that Israel is the most interested in having peacekeepers evacuated from the occupied Golan so as to be left without international monitoring forces. Al-Jaafari pointed out that some of the countries which rushed to hold conferences on combating terrorism are the ones who are funding and training terrorist groups on their own soil, adding that all countries should commit themselves to UN Resolution 2170, which called for international cooperation to fight the terrorist Islamic State. In Baghdad, Iraqi Foreign Minister Ibrahim al-Jaafari warned against that terrorism of the Islamic State can transcend all boundaries. He stressed the necessity of combining all regional and international efforts in coordination with the Iraqi national government to confront the Islamic State, especially an air cover. Al-Jaafari pointed out that these serious measures should prevent the terrorist Islamic State from spreading to other countries. In a joint operation with Iraqi security forces, Iraqi troops today eliminated dozens of terrorists in al-Anbar, Baghdad and Babel to clear all the areas surrounding the capital. The security forces were also able to detain 7 terrorists in large operations launched by the commanders of the operations of Baghdad, Babel and al-Anbar north of al-Hilla. According to a military source, all types of air and land forces took part in the operation, following which scores of terrorists were killed and 8 arms warehouses were destroyed. Airstrikes also targeted 2 ISIS positions north of Dulu'iyya, killing 26 armed men. Finally, Iran has underlined the need for world countries' cooperation to help Syria and Iraq in their confrontation of terrorism away from any military and political intervention in other countries' internal affairs at the pretext of combating terrorism. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mardia Afkham said the declared objectives of the International Alliance against the terrorist ISIS organization contravene the past and present measures of its founders. Afkham denounced the political hypocrisy of those who hoist the banner of combating terrorism and alleged to be fighting it. She criticized the nature of the alliance, which was formed under U.S. leadership to combat ISIS, affirming that it was formed away from UN standards. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Vani Genjan, but after a short break.